You're watching the Batter Fans Network.
The Herons are back. Beards talking balls, rapping pink and black. Coming live from the 305, it's official tissue. The Batter Fan, Chris and Dan, weekly rocking with you. We talk Messi, Boosie, Jordy, Lucho, the Fat Four, to Ben Cram, Noah, Ruiz, Fred. What more could you ask for? Tighten up and get ready, listen in on the pod. Solana and X in Espanol, just to even the odds. Breakdowns and gas bagging, join the tribe and just vibe. $3.99, don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't hesitate, say what's up, go ahead and come in. No question about it, I'm ready to get hurt again.
No question about it, I am ready to get hurt again.
Chris, the Herons are back. Welcome everybody to episode number 449 of the Battle Heroes podcast. I'm your host, Daniel Granat, and alongside me, as always, Mr. KBD. How are you doing, sir? And you are on mute, sir. Good start.
So I'm wearing pink.
Oh, good.
So now you guys can't give me crap like you did in the other video where you said I was wearing yellow. It was gold, by the way.
Well, for those that don't know, and if you haven't checked it out, we did a quick little impromptu because we'd never really done a show from the car. But as we were driving, I was driving home. Chris was on his break from Pollo Tropical. We did a quick 10-minute show from our cars, and where Chris started getting a lot of crap about working at Pollo Tropical and his yellow shirt. But we did. We covered the whole Suarez thing because we figured we didn't want to touch on it too much during this episode. So we did, and we got it. And shout out to Cara the Don. Appreciate you supporting the Miami Heat Battered Heat Fans podcast also. All right, so on the preview shows, we usually have a guest. This is the fourth week in a row that we have Nashville on the deck.
What a disaster.
And we opened it up to the chat last episode on Monday, and we said, guys, we've had a few Nashville guests on here. Who is your favorite? We'll ask them on. And they said, we like them all. Just bring them all on. Never considered that. F it. Why not try it? So we asked all of them on. We got 2 out of 3. Uncle Matt said that he could not join us, that he might jump in randomly at the end if he has a chance, but he said he cannot. But we do have the face of Nashville, Mr. Brian Taylor, because if you look,
I was muted.
If you look to see what somebody from Nashville may look like, absolutely looks exactly like Brian. What's going on, Brian? How you doing, sir?
It's good, man. It's great. I'm a little less Nashville-y today, although my little skull does have a cowboy hat on.
It was
but
the jacket last time really helped.
Yeah, the jacket really did it, and plus the cowboy hats in the background really don't help my cause.
It was the JT jacket, all that. It was working.
But I'm good, man. It's good to jump back on. Love what you guys are doing, and it's good to kind of get outside the Nashville bubble every now and again.
I appreciate that. And then we have Valair, which also joined us from the 615 Soccer. What's going on, Valair, a.k.a. Messi's bodyguard? What's going on, man?
Oh, man, it's all good. And as Messi's bodyguard, you're not allowed to have that shirt without paying royalties to Messi.
To Johnny Cash?
Be careful. You got to be quiet there, Valair.
Well, I'm just saying, like, first you steal Johnny Cash's thing, which is a Nashville thing, and then you put Messi's face on it. So now Messi's mad. Johnny Cash and Nashville are mad.
You're getting it from 2 sides there, buddy.
Yeah, but
double the lawsuit.
Oh, absolutely. But I did go and I paid to go see Johnny Cash's museum when I did go to Nashville. So, I contributed.
I've been there once.
I've not done there. I've not done it yet, and I've lived here since I was 5. So I'm a bad Nashvilleian.
Well, you know what? Fun fact: when I went there was that I found out that the song. Oh my God, what's the song? It was my favorite Johnny Cash song, and I forgot the name.
Ring of Fire.
But it was a cover for 9 Inch Nails. Is it Hurt?
I mean, now you're
hurt. Yeah, and I thought that was his song, and it ended up being a cover, which was surprising. But yeah, Johnny Cash, awesome. If you guys haven't gone to the museum and you make it out to Nashville, make sure you go check that out.
The best part about the Johnny Cash Museum is that after you're done, his little diner is right next door, and it's actually a really good breakfast. So hit him up.
Oh man, I didn't notice that.
Nice.
It's called like Sun Diner. I don't know. Maybe I'm making
sounds right. I think you're on the right track. I just don't.
There's a diner next to the museum.
Sounds right.
Owned by the same
Valair.
people.
We live here. We're not down there all the time. I go to Broadway when I absolutely have to.
Yeah, exactly. It's not a thing you do. Like again, I've been there once, but But yeah, it's really good, and I think like all the menu items are like named after songs and stuff like that. So
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Very
that's
cool.
cool. That's really
Well,
interesting.
it out if you're in
one thing
town.
that I did notice at Broadway is that they have a Tootsie's, not like our Tootsie's, but they have a Tootsie's also
Yeah,
over there on
they do have
Broadway.
a Tootsie.
So,
They got one at the airport too,
well-
which is strange.
You know, for
The
this
vibe
game,
there's just weird.
for this game 5, if any Miami fans are traveling to the Nationals, this is every week now. At least
Yeah.
we give you some recommendations.
all right.
Well,
So,
luckily it's in Broward. That's gonna be great.
we'll get started. I'll start with Brian. Brian, your
Yeah.
thoughts on game? I don't know why it says revisiting game 1. Game 2. I don't. This whole thing is thrown off. I'll have to fix this. But go. Don't even worry about the topic thing in the middle. It's embarrassing.
So when I was talking to Chris on the other show about
The
game
MLS
2,
show, right?
yeah, I had mentioned that Nashville has this ability to be world beaters, and they also have this ability to come out flat and look like a completely different team. I think up until we kind of made subs near the end of the second half, it felt like a pretty perfect, well-rounded game for Nashville against Miami. There were some hiccups here and there, but for the most part, it felt like everyone who needed to step up did. I mean, we had 19-year-old Matt Cochran come in and play out of his mind. Our other two mids, Yaz and Eddie, were, doing their best to keep Messi from even getting the ball, which I feel like is a huge, that is what you strive for.
Yes.
So overall, and we'll get into more detail, and I'll let Valair talk on it a bit too. It felt like 89 minutes of perfect soccer from Nashville, and then just a little bit of slip up at the end.
Valair?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I do think Nashville got pretty lucky, but I don't mean that in like a bad way. I mean it in that you need luck.
It's part of the game.
It's and I think there were a couple breaks that went their way and a couple breaks in the previous games that went like the 5-2 game that happened here in Nashville. Like they missed a couple of big chances. There were a couple of things that could have gone their way, and if they had some of that luck, that game wouldn't have been 5-2. Chances are they wouldn't have lost that game, right? So when I say lucky, that's what I mean. So I think there were a couple of worrying signs from Miami that Nashville were able to go and kind of attack. And what did I say when you guys brought me in that right before game 1 was Nashville need to go and be on the front foot. If you sit and defend, it's just not going to work against this Miami team. And I remember we had a pretty good discussion about that, and you guys agreed with me that if Nashville sit back, Messi is going to find a way around it. And that's precisely what happened in game 1. And they were found out pretty quickly and came out flat, kind of like Brian was saying. So then this game 2, what happens is that they play the same way they played Decision Day game, at least the first half of that game, meaning they went all out. They pressed Miami high up. They didn't let them breathe. They matched them in intensity. And by that, I mean exclusively matching their, I don't know if you can say the shithousery, but I mean that's really what it comes down to, and it's not just that portion, but it's matching the intensity of the match and not just waiting to be reactive. It's going in and being proactive yourself, and that's precisely what Nashville did. And every time Nashville has done that against Miami, they found success. So repeating that makes sense to me.
Well, and I want to bring this up real quick before I guess we get to the next thing, because Mr. Krause is bringing up a good point. He goes, "Oh yeah, I just realized none of Nashville goals were in open play." So referring to obviously the penalty, the corner, you had the honey mustard set piece, sort of beautiful goal, by the way. But it is kind of true what he's saying. I mean, am I wrong, Danny, here? I mean, none of Nashville's goals were in open play. So like, is there something that we should be worried about?
Well, I was going to bring that up later on, but Mr. Krause brought it up now. But before we talk about the no open play goals, I was going to ask you guys: do you think the game plan has something to do with playing at home and playing away? Is BJ Callahan a little more conservative when he plays away from Nashville? Because I think it's interesting that he went on the front foot and was so aggressive at home both those times. In the one game that we played away, he kind of fell back and into a shell. Do you think that there's one? if there's any coincidence to that, or if it's something done on purpose. And two, are we going to see that conservative play again?
I doubt it. I don't know, Brian, where you're at, but I think BJ Callahan hasn't done this throughout the season. It's not something that we can, maybe they'll play a little bit more conservatively, like they won't press as high, but they that 4-3-3 formation they played with Brian Acosta, that's something they've tried maybe twice the entire season, and it didn't even work then. So I don't know why they tried it in game one, but I think most of that had to do with losing 5-2. And I think that triggered something within BJ Callahan, the coaching staff, and they decided, hey, let's just be safe. Let's do that. But that's not something they've done for the entire season. They've gone for it. They've risked it. And for better or worse, because it doesn't always work out, but they've done that throughout the season. And I really think the decision day game really affected the way they went into it. And I think after what we saw in game 2, I don't think going back to that sort of result. Now, it's not going to be the same intense. I don't think it's going to be as high up. Like, I just don't think that's going to happen because of the home crowd, because playing away from home is going to take some of that away. I just don't think we're going to see that like defensive formation. We're not going to see Nashville sit back necessarily. I think they're going to be more on the attacking end than they were in game 1 for sure.
Yeah, there was a kind of a sentiment on social media in that game 1 of like, what are we doing? Like, that's not how we've played all year. There's definitely been times where we've parked the bus, but I like to say it's more of putting the bus in neutral and letting it roll. Like, we were still doing stuff. We were still, progressing forward. And it felt like in game 1, almost not 1-for-1, but almost reverting back to the Gary Smith, like, let's lock down, don't let them score, and hope we, score on a break, which isn't wise against Miami just in general.
No. Makes sense.
So it was definitely odd. The only way I could kind of explain that away was, okay, it's a 3-game series. We saw what happened in decision day. Let's try something different. If we lose, it's not the end of the world because it's not aggregate. So let's try something and then go into, our home game with, what's been working all year.
Balls to the wall. Yeah.
Now, are you guys worried, back to the example that Chris and Mr. Krabs were talking about, the fact that you guys were that aggressive, but you needed the PK and then that random ball that ended up in front of Bauer's legs that he kind of just like scooped in from the floor to score, because in open play, they weren't, and they have had opportunities. Serge had a clear opportunity and he sailed it way over the bar. Are you guys at all worried that, they were aggressive and they looked better, obviously, but they just weren't able to convert, and those set pieces kind of saved the day? Because if not for those set pieces in open play, they were doing nothing.
Yeah, I'm obviously I'm always going to be worried. I'm a sicko. Every kick of the ball is stressful for me. But,
that's fair.
But we saw this, and I mean, we've played you guys for 3 months straight now. Every time we've played you guys, it's Hani and Sam are getting chances, but they're hitting the post. They're sailing them wide. They're not going in. But we've seen this from these two, and they're very streaky. I mean, those streaks last a long time. For Sam, it lasts the whole season. But if we go back to the beginning of the year, the conversation was Hani and Sam aren't scoring. Hani's missing Sam's missing easy chances. What's happening? And then they put one in from the run of play, and then boom, took off. Went 13 straight unbeaten. Sam is second. Did he end second or third in the Golden Boot? Regardless, top 3 in the Golden Boot.
It was either second or third. I don't know if he was ahead of Bouanga.
So the fact that we're still getting the chances and the players are putting themselves in the right position, like, I'm going to be worried because we're not scoring, but I know for a fact that these two guys can do it and have all season long. And as soon as they get one in, it could open the floodgates.
Yeah. He was tied for second, by the way, with Denny Bouanga.
Yeah. I do think Brian is on the right track there. For me, it would be a lot more worrying if there wasn't chance creation. When you look at that decision day game, Nashville created almost a 3 XG against Miami. When you look at game 2, Nashville created 2.5, I think, or 2.6 XG against Miami. Game 1, again, that was like a completely different thing. So I'm not really, still, and even in that game, they had that Jacob Schaffelberg chance that he just kind of slipped. And then Hani Mukhtar had one as well. So it's not like the chances aren't being created. And as long as chances are being created, you're just going to have to take care of them. I think the biggest worry here, rather than open play versus, because the thing is, like, you're going to have opportunities on the set piece in game 3 as well. So whether it's a corner or a free kick or a penalty kick, based on how these two teams play each other, these are going to be occurring fairly often for Nashville. So if you're saying that they score from set pieces more often, then, you know, that opens up more opportunities for them to score, because they're going to get those corners, they're going to get those set pieces, and chances are they're going to get a penalty just because of how the Miami defense is, right? I mean, like it's just one of those things. And the way they play, the Miami defense plays on the back foot more often than not, because Miami has the ball, and Miami
they're always retreating.
Exactly. So if you're on the back foot, you're more prone to making mistakes. It's just, I mean, it's a simple. However, Miami take that risk because the reward on the other end is usually worth it, and it has worked out for them. When that risk reward starts going to Nashville or whoever the opponent is, that's when things really hit the fan. And I thought Nashville did really well coming out and not being afraid of Miami in game 2, and kind of, you know, punch them back, sort of thing, right? And gave them a little bit back, which I thought really changed the dynamic of the series, where Miami had scored 8 goals in 2 games, and Nashville came out like it was the first time they were playing each other. And I thought that was really important, and that's going to have to happen again for Nashville to really get a result here.
And Danny, I mean, look, if I was to say, if we'd face Nashville with the way they played the first half on decision day, then we're cooked. It's over for us, because that to me was like their best half of play throughout this entire last 72 games that we've been playing them.
Yeah, you know, that is, they look better that half than they did, I thought, all of game 2. I thought that was the best half of football that Nashville's played against.
Because they actually had, in open play, several opportunities where, like, they kind of like picked through our defense that first half. I mean, obviously you got to play 2 halves, but like that half that they played was just cutthroat.
And scored 2 goals, other than the opportunities they missed.
Yeah,
on top of that, you know.
I think Miami scoring before the half is what really kind of gutted you guys. That kind of gave Miami life, and they came out very aggressive
for us last game.
Yeah,
they scored on us first half, and it killed the momentum.
Valair, do you think that? Not do you think? Are Nashville fans satisfied with the season? Is this just house money?
Yes, I mean, Brian is probably He's closer to the fans during game day, so I'll defer to
Valair,
him,
I know where you started. You're one of us. It's fine.
But I would say I would be shocked if any Nashville fan is like, "Oh, this season is ruined because we lost to Miami." Like, if somebody says that to me, I'm not taking them seriously. Like, this is house money, 100%, and especially game 3. I mean, they're throwing everything at it. Yeah. That's where I stand. I don't know, Brian.
The way I look at it, you know, say we lose game 3. 2 years from now, I'm going to look back on 2025 as the year we won a trophy and forget about the playoffs. I'm going to look back and go, we won a trophy. There's a banner, it's kind of a plaque, but up in the stadium, there's, you know, 2025 was a good year, and that's what I'll remember. So, you know, if we look back at the beginning of the season, we kind of expected a soft rebuild anyways. Like, we were bad last year. We were not good. So, going into the season, my expectations were, you know, let's see improvement. Let's see the new guys, you know, fit into the system and have a better year. And we have surpassed that. So, like, it's okay to have your expectations shift. I think we can win this game. I think we can continue in the playoffs. But if I look at it as a whole, 2 years down the line, we won a trophy this year, so I'm happy.
I wonder if BJ Callahan and the players are saying just go balls to the wall because it's house money also. Like, I'm wondering if they're also satisfied with the I know you hope that the players aren't thinking that way, but I wonder if they're also
I wouldn't think so.
No?
As someone who talks to these players fairly frequently, and BJ Callahan, they are not satisfied. I mean, these are hungry people and hungry for success. And they were saying that BJ Callahan specifically was saying that when Nashville didn't even make the playoffs last season because he was there for 10 games, the last 10 games of the season. And he was saying that he's not someone who's gonna back down. I don't think any of the players will be thinking like the fans do, and I don't think any of the players are satisfied, to be honest with you. And I think if anything, Game 2 is really done wonders for their mentality, because I thought coming out of Game 1, that's the series. Just go ahead, move on. There's next year. And I think most Nashville fans actually felt the same. What happened in Game 2 was a complete different story when it came to how Nashville played, but also how Nashville approached it mentally. And I think that's going to be the biggest thing going into Game 3 is that can you stay calm while getting in under Miami skin, right? Can you control? They talk about control aggression. That was the word that BJ Callahan uses all the time. So can you play your control aggression game and, get a result? Based on the facts that we have is that if Nashville attacks Miami, they will at least score 2 goals, really 1 to 2 goals, let's say. And when Nashville play well and sound organized defense, then maybe they can, allow only 1 or 2 goals for Miami. So I think this series is a lot closer than it's ever been, really, from the start.
In Game 2, I felt like Nashville kind of went into a shell in the second half. Now, my thing is if they score early Game 3, they're going to do the same. They weren't very aggressive in the second half.
I think the substitutions, when the substitutions started, and I think that's what Ryan was saying, like when the midfield, so there are 4 midfielders, right? You have the 2 kind of more attacking midfielders and 2 back midfielders. And once the first one started going out, I think it was Eddie Taxeth, and Jacob Schaffelberg came in for him. Now, Jacob Schaffelberg does not play the same position, so they pushed Matt Corcoran back. And then out of those 4, 3 of them got substituted before the end of the game. And I think that really – midfield was an area that Nashville were bossing in that game. And once those guys were out, it was just kind of Miami had a lot more joy going down the middle.
Yeah, I think, our midfield was doing a really good job of kind of controlling that game, keeping Miami from getting too many solid chances. They definitely got some. It's Miami. They're going to, right? But they played well. And like Valair was talking about, that controlled aggression sometimes got a little out of control. And there were some yellow cards shown. And I think I saw, Valair, you can correct me here, BJ said in his post game interview that Eddie was taken off because he was on that yellow and things were getting kind of chippy and it was late in the game and they're up by 2 goals and they didn't want to risk not having him for an important Game 3. And he's one of those energy guys in the midfield that every team loves to have, but hates when the other team has them. Right. So I feel like once those subs kind of happen, things got a little disorganized. I look at Messi's goal. Kasim kind of dropped back to shadow like a run that left, Messi that his favorite spot right at the top of the box, wide open on his left foot. So I think, that can hurt us. I hope going into this game, we don't have any of those early yellow card issues and our main guys can go a little bit longer. Because if that happens, we can continue pushing forward and not have to sit back as much.
Both of you thought that we were going to tie the game after Messi scored that goal, did you not?
I was worried. I was scared. But
I think everybody watching just saw it coming. It was like, it's coming. The second goal is coming.
I am a Nashville sports fan. I know nothing but pain. So anytime there's a little bit of a hint, anytime there's a little bit of a hint something's going to go wrong, I think, okay, the Titans are bad. The Preds have been bad for a while. They're kind of coming back. I just think of all my teams disappointing me over the years. So I immediately assume the worst. But I think we handled it as well as we could have. They should not have given him that wide open of a chance. But I think going into
running off of Messi to cover an overlapping run by Frey, wild. Okay, so Valair also agreed. Messi was going to score that goal. That's what everybody's
Yeah,
expecting.
I totally thought just because Nashville dropped the way they were playing.
Yeah.
And to be fair, they can't play 90 minutes of go, go, go. Like that's
Yeah.
not a realistic thing to
Yeah,
do.
of course, unless you're the Red Bulls and you inject
Yeah.
Red Bull into your veins. Yeah.
But even that, they are doing it with substitutes that kind of respond to that. Nashville took Alex Muyl out. They took Eddie Taxeth out. They took Patrick Yazbek out. Those are your, midfield engines.
Right.
So when you take them out and you put in Ahmed Qasim, who's just coming back from injury, who was like a winger, Jacob Schaffelberg, who was definitely a winger, and yes, these guys will defend and they'll work hard and everything, but they're not the same. Their job on the field is completely different than the other guys. And Gaston Brugman, who is a midfielder, but he's more of a creator rather than a destroyer. Those guys he took out, they're all destroyers. So when you switch it out completely, it really kind of, I think the idea was that there will be space in behind and you can throw the ball to those sort of wingers and they'll do something. And there was there were a couple of counterattacks that Nashville mishandled, I thought, even after the Miami goal and definitely before as well. So I think I see the understanding and I see the way that BJ Callen was thinking. But I also think maybe those midfielders just couldn't keep going for 90 minutes and he had to save them for game 3 if there was a game 3. So I would say that for game 3, you got to keep at least 2 out of the 4 in for the entire 90 minutes, at least.
I will tell you that this Suarez suspension does make things interesting because I know a lot of people are saying that, oh, yeah, maybe Miami's better off because Suarez can't score or silly things like that. No. In the attack, I think he does a lot. He plays without the ball. He contributes without the ball. So I think that they're wrong for that. But defensively...
But he likes some mule kick people.
Yeah, and we can get into the suspension in a second if you want. But defensively, now we will be defending with an extra player. And there's a chance, because when Suarez was suspended the first time for Spitgate, we twinkled with playing 5 or 3 in the back, however you want to look at it, and having Jordi Alba and Ian Frey being wing backs, contributing the attack, but then 3 center backs stayed back, which kind of leaves you a little less room in behind because you have that one sweeper in the back kind of defending all that. So it's interesting because I think that now BJ Callahan has a few things to consider because you're not going to see the same Miami team that you saw the last 3 weeks. So I think it's going to be interesting. And I think, and I'll ask Chris before I go on to Valair and Brian. Chris, what formation do you think Mascherano might come out in? I think that he might come out with the 3 in the back. And I also think, and I know some people might think I'm crazy, I think Busquets might be one of those center backs where he hasn't played in the middle of the 3. And that way you can bring on a Bright and a DePaul to play that double pivot, which will shore up the defensive end by having the 3 in the back and then having those 2 ball stoppers in the midfield.
Well, here's the thing. Bright would be a nightmare defensively for Nashville. And I think having the 3 in the back is comforting. But, I mean, I guess because you have Busquets in the back with 2 other center backs, I guess it's okay. It's just 1 and then Busquets. So I think I'm okay with 3 in the back. And it's like you said, the biggest thing about this, Danny, is you're actually including someone that's actually going to play defense. It's not like 2 guys up there, Messi and Suarez, not playing defense, doing anything. And then Nashville has all the patience in the world to kind of rotate the ball. Now there's an extra defender, and this person, whoever it is, Allende, Silvetti, they're the ones that are going to run rampant around there and pressure the center backs for Nashville to push the ball up into, hopefully, DePaul and Bright, who are going to wreck shop for these guys.
We'll definitely be able to press more effectively. Have you heard anything? Well, I mean, it's just new news that I doubt you've heard anything. But what do you think of what Nashville will do now that Suarez is out? Well, actually, before I get into that, what do you guys think about the Suarez suspension? Just period.
I was shocked that he got suspended. I definitely thought it deserved a card and maybe a red on the field. When I saw the news that when I saw the news that he was suspended, my jaw dropped because I thought it's over, it's done with, they'll go on to game 3, whatever. Was actually surprised he was suspended. Thought maybe a fine would come, but yeah, with how little was done about it on the field, I thought, all right, it's just over with, and they'll just move on.
Yeah, I think the VAR had a couple of shockers, honestly, that night, including that one. A couple of others that the Nashville penalty call that wasn't called, not the one that was called, the one where Sam Surridge got
Just running away from goal. Yeah, like facing away from goal.
Yeah, and initially I saw this in real time and kind of was close to me, or not close, but in front of me, I would say. And I was like, that's not a penalty. But then once you see the replay, you're like, oh, wait, hold on. That is a penalty. And then there was a couple going the other end, too, where I can understand where a guy, on the field can't see it, or the assistants didn't see it, like that Suarez kick, for example. But there's no excuse for VAR to miss that completely and not call the guy over again. And again, it wasn't like, oh, this is just against Nashville, this is just against Miami. I just thought VAR in general needed to intervene a lot more that night in general.
I think one thing all of us as MLS fans can agree is that the calls are often missed. It happens a lot, regardless of team, regardless of situation. I feel like this conversation has happened 10 times this year for various games, and it's just part of what you expect.
My issue is I
think it doesn't help Suarez's reputation.
No, it does not.
No, that's why he got it. If anybody else does it, I don't think they get suspended for it. I think it's because it's him that he got suspended, and I have no problem with the suspension. He should stop doing the dumb things. My issue is that the people running VAR, if the MLS feels like this was egregious enough to suspend somebody for a crucial game 3, then whoever's running VAR obviously doesn't know what they're looking for, because if it's to that level, like, hey, this is so bad that even though this is a game 3 winner go home, we're still going to suspend them, then the people in VAR don't know what they're looking for, because that is way too big of a disparity in decisions. And I don't know if you feel comfortable with the people making those decisions during the game, because obviously they're going to mess it up is basically the best way I can put it.
Yeah, no, that's completely it. And I will tell you right now, if VAR had called over the referee, he would have given a red card to Suarez, because anytime you kick at an opponent, I know it's not like an egregious, like, WWE kick or anything.
Yeah, but you just thought it was done on purpose.
Yeah, but it is a kick at an opponent, and within the laws of the game, you can't do that. So I think if the referee sees it, but he doesn't see it, which is fine. You're a human. You don't see it. Again, VAR's whole existence is for them to see.
It's for this.
So,
right.
Yeah.
It's assistance. Video assistance referee. Yeah. That's a VAR's job. Their job, yes. And Gus is saying VAR is used to back up the ref, not to help correct things he missed. It is to help correct things he missed. They're assistants that are up in the sky somewhere, making these.
I think that's their point, is that that's what they're supposed to be like, is to call the right call. But I think what they're doing is backing up the ref, or just making sure that the ref is not in trouble.
Here's my opinion. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I think it was excessive. I didn't think it would merit a suspension, but because of his reputation, I get it. So, all right. So Chris, we're down Suarez. We don't know who we're gonna play. We don't know what formation we're gonna play. And I've been seeing those all day. MLS is a joke.
Yeah.
What do you think Miami's gonna come out with this Saturday? I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, I'm just gonna go ahead and peel back here and pull up the starting 11 just real quick that we had, I guess, last time. This was the starting 11 from last game, right? So essentially what you would do is, would you put Jordi Alba as a left wing?
Well, I would put 5 in the back, or 3 in the back, and then have Alba and Frey like wing backs, like we did when Suarez was originally suspended. Now, somebody suggested that we'll keep the same formation, and that we'll just simply put Allende where Suarez is, and then put in Silvetti where Allende is on the right, which works also. We'll have to wait and see. But I'm very interested in see how this comes out. Now, Brian, if I don't think I've done this question with Brian yet. Brian,
I'm scared.
let's say hypothetically you are a degenerate gambler, which you may
Okay.
be. You may be.
Okay.
And you decide to put the house on Miami. Like, that's it. The house, the cowboy hat, everything. It's on Miami. Okay. And then game day comes, you get a little nervous, you get a little butterflies in your stomach, and you regret it. You're like, well, I shouldn't have done that. I'm not 100% confident anymore. But that's it. It's too late to take it back. So you fly down to Miami, you go to Chase Stadium, and you walk up to Mascherano because for some reason you have access to him, and you whisper in his ear.
Access.
You whisper in his ear. Well, Valair probably has access because he looks like Messi's bodyguard, but Brian looks so Nashville. I don't know how you're gonna get to it. But Brian, you walk up to him, you whisper in his ear, "This is how you're gonna beat Nashville tonight." What are you telling him?
Well, so the obvious option, the kind of easy cop out, is make sure Sam Surge and Hani Mukhtar, but Sam Surge is quiet. Going into this game on the broadcast, they said that Sam Surge didn't have a shot in the playoffs. He didn't have a shot on goal. And if you look during the season, he was the guy doing everything, scoring all the goals, right? Hani had some, obviously, but Sam was like the goal machine. So thing one. Thing two that worries the hell out of me is with Suarez being out, you're going to have someone else in at striker who's going to run, right?
Press.
Like you guys mentioned, press, right? And our team's pretty good at playing out of the back, but something that's made me and a lot of fans of Nashville nervous all year is Joe Willis playing the ball with his feet in pressure. There's been some times this year where he's passed it, I think once versus Miami, directly to a player, right?
Yes. This season, yeah.
And Joe Willis is a great keeper. He is a good
Great
MLS
mustache.
keeper. Great mustache. He is not that kind of goalie, but he's the best option we have at goalie right now. So if you can make him mess up with intense pressure, that is something that could lead to an easy opportunity for Messi or whoever else. So that is my biggest worry with you guys having someone who can actually push forward on defense.
Yeah,
No,
I would say
you actually have access. So what are you going to tell Mascherano?
I would say very good points, I think, from Brian. But I think the other guy I would focus on, because Dan Lovitz is out, Josh Bauer had an incredible game playing out of position. This guy's a center back who sometimes covered as a right back, and now all of a sudden the playoffs he finds himself at left back against Messi. Okay, so just that you should target that guy. That's what I would say.
For sure, yeah.
Go at him. He had the most touches out of any Nashville player in game 2. Shocking to me. I've covered this team since USL days, and if you would ask me, give me 5 people who had the most touches out of Nashville, Josh Bauer wouldn't even crack top 5. I would put him either last or right before last. So him having 65 touches in game 2, to me, seems like he's running on confidence. The team is confident in him. BJ Callahan's confident in him. However, he's still playing out of position. So if Josh Bauer is the left back, go at him because he will have some confidence, but he doesn't necessarily have the experience.
Messi can crush him.
Exactly. So I would say go at him as much as possible, similar to Brian. The other thing I'll say, if Miami does go with a back 3 or back 5, definitely go for Suarez. Definitely go for Busquets as one of those 3, because putting somebody in like Avalos is just not gonna be like. And I don't know if he's even next in line, but what's his name?
Lujan might be next in line.
Yeah, but even with Lujan or Avalos, I think I would rather have Busquets as part of that and have a really dynamic midfield where both of them are kind of playing. So, and the other thing is that if you're playing 3 at the back, Busquets is not going to be actually as center back. He's just going to be right in front of them.
Right.
It's a role a lot of defensive midfielders play, like in their career, especially later on.
A lot deeper, yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's a really, really good sort of way to catch Nashville off guard. But those would be my 2 main things. But at the end of the day, we'll see. I think Miami's Achilles heel is still their defense. I mean, that's just going to be what's going to
Yeah,
get.
I was going to say, Daniel, let's flip this on you. What would you tell BJ Callahan to attack on Miami?
Ooh, that's a good question.
You know what? It's funny because I feel like the best way to beat Miami, even though you guys
Counter.
haven't looked great, right, doing it for some reason, is playing them in the counter, going into that shell and playing the counter. But for some reason, you guys have had more success when you've been a little more aggressive. But usually, the best way to beat Miami is to play because we have a hard time breaking down teams. And usually Luis Suarez is a big part of breaking those teams down because he can take a defender or two with him when he makes those purposeful runs. Without Suarez, I'm not sure how they would break down a low block. So that's what I would tell Nashville to do. Yeah, and like I said, in the second half, it worked great.
And it's weird because, Brian, you brought up something about shutting down Surridge. In my opinion, I feel, I don't know. I feel like Hani Mukhtar is like a lot more dangerous than Surridge is. I feel like
he's more dangerous on the ball for sure. Yeah, I mean, either way, it's, who's getting the ball to who, right? Sam Surridge has this ability to kind of disappear for a lot of the game, and then all of a sudden he's on the ball in the correct spot, right?
I think Surridge is overrated.
It's like it's the classic, like, people see a tall guy, tall English guy who has the ball.
Haaland. It's like, obviously to a different level, but you hear people say like, "Oh, Haaland is a goal scorer, but he's not a good football player."
Yes, and I will say I think that's like a fair take, but I wouldn't say overrated or underrated or anything. I think he's fairly rated. He's a very good goal scorer and I think his best quality is that he leads the team in press from the top. The way this man presses is like no other striker does in MLS, or I don't know. He runs, he covers more ground, and so does Hani Mukhtar, by the way. They cover more ground than any duo strikers I've ever seen.
I think he may be the only box-to-box striker I've ever seen. Like,
it's insane. It's insane. No. And the way he works, the way he kind of drifts to the left, and I think his technical ability has come a long way since he's been in Nashville in terms of ball control, in terms of passing, all that stuff even. But it's still nowhere near Hani Mukhtar because, honestly, other than Messi, I
think Mukhtar is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, like, he's just technically really good.
Yeah.
With that said, like, I think for Suarez, I keep saying Suarez's name. I don't know why. He's gonna like come out from behind me. For Surridge,
talking about him all day.
For Surridge, even in his bad games, he's still helping the team, and I think that's a really, really important thing for him. And that's, I think, what eventually led to his success in scoring those goals, because he does miss a lot of goals, but he also scores a lot of them. And I think, again, back to the Haaland thing, again, not comparing.
Right. Not comparing levels, just
yeah. But Haaland, if you look at him, he misses a lot of chances because he pretty much makes those chances happen because of his positioning and his ability. And to a similar extent, that's happening with Surridge. But I just think he's a good finisher who's really dynamic and really helps the team out. And I think that for Nashville's system is the perfect striker.
I think he's overrated.
Danny, all
right.
I want to get to the good stuff. I want to call out predictions here. Now, Brian and Valair, you guys are our guests. So we'll start with you, Valair. We want predictions. What do you think is going to be the outcome? Inter Miami versus Nashville on Saturday, 8:00 here in Dried Pink. No, Chase Stadium.
Chase Stadium. I predicted a 3-1 Nashville loss in game 1, and guess what happened? 3-1 Nashville.
And it was a 3-1. Wow.
Yeah. It was on this show and my show as well. I predicted 3-1 Nashville loss. So now it didn't play out the way I had imagined it, but it was still, I got the correct score.
Right.
I didn't predict a Nashville win in the game 2, so I don't know. I'm 1-1. So here we go. Game 3 for me as well. I think I'll go for a 2-1 Miami win. I think Miami will get ahead fairly early in the game. they'll get another one maybe in the second half, and Nashville will get one later on, but it just won't be enough time to kind of break Miami into a tying goal. So that was my prediction earlier in the week. I feel like I have to stick with it.
Brian?
Well, before we get to yours, Brian, Mike V saying Miami wins 485-2. So go ahead.
I would love to see that. I don't
Honestly, if he does.
Time. Yeah.
Do you have time to kick the ball off?
Also, it's funny that Nashville still gets 2 in this scenario. Like,
we don't get clean sheets. We do not get clean sheets.
There's no time.
We'd actually go up 2-0 in that situation, and then Miami would score 400 whatever goals. Yeah. That's funny. So much like whoever that was, I didn't see the name, Mike V. I tend to be a little delusional. So it is hard for me in the playoffs to do anything other than say a win, just because that's who I am. I'm going to say a win. If I'm being realistic, I think this plays out very similar to game 2. I think the weight's kind of off your shoulders. Like, let's face it, we hadn't beat Miami since Messi came on. Kind of the game between the ears, right? Is
all the pressure's on Miami.
They figured it out. They know Miami's thinking about last year versus Atlanta. We've already had a good season. So really, they should go into that game and say, screw it, balls to the wall, let's go, right? I want to say a 2-1 win for Nashville. However, if this does go to PKs, Nashville will probably lose. I don't trust Joe Willis in a PK shootout. I just don't. I know we have scorers, but if it goes to PKs, it is Miami's going to win. But I'm going to put out a 2-1 win for Nashville. Hani and Sam getting the 2 goals.
And Valair? Just to add to Brian's point, I don't trust Sam Surge and Hani Mukhtar in a shootout.
Yeah, no.
So yeah, I agree.
Especially this year, I don't trust Hani to take penalties probably ever again. Like I don't want him kicking penalties.
It was a rough start to the year. I remember he missed his first 2. Was it 2-3? He missed, and then they had to put Surge on there.
Yeah, he missed it was bad to start. Surge missed 2. No, Surge missed 1. And then Surge took over again, and he's been pretty good at him. But I just, especially after you take a penalty during the game, I know is not, but maybe it will be game 3, but he did take one in game 2. So I think having that and then going, I don't know, it's too much, but we'll see. I will say one thing that will play for both of these teams is that there is an opportunity where it wasn't earlier, maybe in the playoffs, that whoever wins this game hosts the semifinal rather than goes away to Cincinnati, because Columbus beat Cincinnati. And they beat them pretty convincingly. Now, Cincinnati didn't have a red card. But if Columbus wins that game, you're looking at an opportunity to host the conference semifinal, which I think will be a big deal for either of these 2 teams. So
absolutely. I agree.
Extra push,
I'm going to go ahead and drop my prediction, Danny. But before I do, I just did the math here, and I'm not a math guy like you are. But 485 goals divided by 90 equals 5.3 goals per minute. So I added it to 100 minutes, which gives us 4.85 goals per minute. No celebrating.
5 goals per minute.
So can someone figure out the
no celebrating
payout if I guess that goal total? Put $10 on it.
You could retire after that.
I could. Oh yeah, I could move to Miami.
Okay. Probably not. You probably can't afford this place.
Still. I'm probably gonna go. I'm gonna go with a 4-1 win for Inter Miami.
Wow. Okay.
We won at home. We won at home 3-1, and I'm gonna go 4-1 because fuck it, we're gonna go crazy.
Okay. I said it. I was a little intoxicated, so maybe I was a little over the top. But after the post game, I said that I thought that we would win 100%. I even put my beard on the line because I don't believe that Miami's going to lose this game. I don't believe that Nashville, the way that they've been playing, they just haven't convinced me offensively. Now, defensively, they have, because I think Miami's had a tough time getting through. But offensively, Nashville hasn't impressed me, and I don't see Nashville doing too much. But we'll see. The whole Suarez thing did shake me a little bit, because I do think that it's going to be interesting what Mascherano does. We don't trust Mascherano down here because we just don't. He doesn't make very good decisions. I don't know how they're going to come out, what formation they're going to play. If we play a high line with 4 in the back, we leave ourselves susceptible to a mistake. So, and I do believe that if Nashville scores first, Miami's in trouble, because Nashville can defend their ass off. They will defend their ass off, and we've seen Miami try to break down a low block. So if Nashville scores first in that first half, Miami's got a way to go. But I do think Miami scores first. I do think that they're going to make the Inter Miami fans sweat all game, because it'll be 1-0. They'll score the first one in the first 20, 25 minutes. Then they'll have us sweating until like the 80th minute so they can finally get that second one. Yeah. And I think they win 2-0. But I do think it's going to be one of those very stressful games where it's just a 1-goal difference for the majority of it. And that makes it all the funner, especially if you win, obviously. But I do think Miami puts down 2, and we get a miracle clean sheet, which we never get. But like I said, I haven't been convinced by Nashville's attack yet.
Do you think there's any chance Miami lets Nashville have the ball and just say, all right, you do something, since now we have, Miami would have 3 at the back or something, and just kind of, since you're not convinced with Nashville's attack, I'm just wondering if that's like the only time we've seen Miami do that is against Columbus. For some reason, they always do it against Columbus, obviously because they like to be on the ball heavy. They always give up possession to Columbus, and then in the Club World Cup, we did it. And we were pretty good when doing that. We beat Porto. We could have beat Al Ahly. They do it well, but they don't.
Just depends on the opponent.
Yeah, right. But they don't do it really against MLS squads. The only time I've seen it against the MLS squad is against Columbus. I think it would be good to try it out. I don't know if Nashville is accustomed to playing with the ball at their feet. But
I think that would actually trip Nashville a good amount. Like if Miami just are like, we're gonna play on the counter, and Nashville, will be kind of struggling, I think, to break down a lower block. But right. To be honest, I asked that question because you know the team better than me. But basically, I've seen a lot of Miami this season. I just don't see Mascherano going for that. So I just didn't know if there was like precedent for it. But Columbus forces you to play like that. And then the Club World Cup is the Club World Cup, Yeah,
and if they play against Columbus, if they make it through and they end up playing against Columbus, they'll do it against Columbus again. It's just we've been even since Tata was doing it when he first got here, and it's been very successful. So I think that they'll stick with it. But against Nashville, no, I don't see that. I think they're going to be on the front foot. I think they're going to be very aggressive. They're going to press. Usually to start off games, they press very aggressively, and now we'll have somebody that is not Suarez pressing. So expect to get a lot of pressure with the crowd into it, and they're going to go for that quick early goal. And I think maybe they won't get it like initially, but I think they do score before Nashville, which is, I think, the team that scores first, it's going to be huge.
Those first 25 minutes or so are going to be crazy. Yeah. It's going to be both teams giving everything they got, pressing as fast, hard as they could, pushing down. It's going to be fun. It will, regardless of what happens, at least that first 25 minutes will be fun.
Yeah. And like I said, if Nashville scores first, Miami's in trouble.
Is it supposed to be a big sort of environment, atmosphere, occasion thing happening?
It should. Like a lot of people like to talk a lot of crap about the Miami crowds. A lot of those pictures get taken like before kickoff or like the first couple minutes. Now, yes, granted, Miami is a later arriving crowd, especially because the stadium's in North Broward,
all of South Florida. Yep.
For example, like Chris and I live really far south. Like when we go, it's at least an hour drive if there's no traffic. So without traffic, it's an hour drive. So yes, we get there late, obviously, and that's when everybody likes to take the pictures and post them online. But the crowd will be there within the first 10 minutes, and it will be loud, and everybody's excited for it because this is the first do or die game. Like this is what you live for, right? The game one was cool, but like, you win, you lose, you still have another game to play. Yeah. This is when it gets fun.
Yeah.
So I think the environment's going to be great. So, all right. Valair, Brian, the face of Nashville, we appreciate both of you guys joining us. Please let everybody know where they can go ahead and find you guys' stuff. Brian, you start off. Where can we find all of Brian, the face of Nashville stuff?
Yeah, you can find me. Just look up Nashville Soundcheck on Twitter and at NSH Soundcheck. All of our, when we go live, all of our trash talk, actual breakdown, stuff like that goes on there. We do also stream on Twitch weekly when Xfinity doesn't hate me. I try to go live on Monday to talk about the game, and I had like 3 upload speed, like 3 megabits upload, so I couldn't do it. But on Twitch at Has Been Entertainment, and I tweet out the live link there, so you can find me. Yeah, just go to the Twitter and you'll be able to find everything.
You coming to the game?
Nah, dude, I'm working on selling this house. I'm pinching pennies wherever I can. I want to, and whenever you guys build that stadium or whenever it opens, I will go to the game then, but I'm not able to make it this weekend.
Rumor is we're gonna have a lot of away games to start the next season. To give it.
Dude, I hated that when Geodis opened. It was like the first. What was it, Valair? 8, 9 games.
Yeah, I think 8 games were away.
Yeah, we didn't have a home game till midsummer. It was horrible. Yeah. And then after that, it's like every weekend was a game, which is like cool. But when you, like you said, when you live 30, 45 minutes, an hour away, it's kind of a pain in the ass to be doing every single weekend.
Yeah, the dog days of summer. I mean, you're playing every 3 days or whatever, and it's all home games. It's not a good time. But you can find me at Valair Shabila. If you don't know how to spell it, look right here. And then look for the bald guy who, according to Daniel, looks like the Messi bodyguard. So
1,000%.
That's that. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Blue Sky. What else? TikTok. But mostly Twitter and Instagram and Blue Sky. I don't know. I'm saying all of them. Yeah. I'm
looking at the comments real quick. Nick Smith said these guys are so nice. I'm going to feel bad when they lose. If I'm mean to you, either in a win or a loss on Twitter, no, I'm joking and I love you. Okay, thank you. That's all.
So I was at the Leagues Cup final in Nashville. 1, beautiful city. Yeah. 2, fun. 3, really nice people.
Yeah, I mean, most Nashville fans are very accommodating. Like, we will talk to you, we'll have a drink with you, and then we'll call you all sorts of names during the game, and then afterwards we'll want to talk to you and drink with you again.
It was really cool. It was a really fun environment. We were sitting around, obviously, a bunch of Nashville fans, and it was fun. I had a good time. I really liked Nashville. Right now, I hate you guys, but
that's fine. Hey, but we can be friends in a week in like 2 days, or whatever it is, a week.
Is this not a rivalry?
I think
Miami, Nashville. I think this is the only real legit rivalry Miami has.
I think there's a good case for real legit rivalry for Nashville. I think we talked about it last time. In MLS, there just hasn't been anybody other than Miami for Nashville, to be honest.
I think it is a legitimate rivalry, but it's different than what you see elsewhere. Because like obviously we're not in the same state. Like you guys have Orlando. Like
we don't care
about but when 2 teams meet up this often in games of consequence, like you're just gonna hate each other. It's just gonna happen.
Absolutely.
And you see it on the field and you see it on talk online. It just happens.
We don't care about Orlando. Can't even get into the playoffs. Like they didn't make
I mean, look at this guy.
We don't care about
Alex
them.
is here commenting like they're all of his team is in Disney World right now working.
Yeah, like we're not worried about Orlando. Well, gentlemen, we appreciate you taking the time to join us. I hope you guys enjoy your vacation after this weekend, and we'll keep in touch. Chris, any final words?
Guys, yellow Gatorade, red Gatorade, or orange Gatorade? Pick one right now. Valair, what's your favorite?
I answered last time. I think I said yellow. Yeah, yellow.
Yes.
Okay. Brian.
If I'm actively working out, yellow Gatorade. If I'm just drinking it because I want it, red Gatorade.
What?
Oh my God.
What's the difference?
You're setting qualifiers?
Middle school basketball, I drank a bunch of red Gatorade and threw up, so I'm scarred for life.
Okay, well, I'm into the red. That was
I just want to add before you send us out, Danny. I if it wasn't for you guys jumping on the shows, covering this matchup would be a disaster. So I want to thank you guys. But after this episode, good riddance, Nashville. Okay.
Yeah.
I can't wait for us to play in the playoffs again next year and be right back here.
We'll be playing. We'll play in the Champions Cup. We'll be playing in leagues. We'll figure out somewhere else to play.
Mm-hmm. They'll do a friendly in the offseason just because this is all off.
On Valentine's Day, just like we did last year against Orlando. Some weird stuff. Again, appreciate you guys. And just a disclaimer, if we lose on Saturday, it will be an absolute disaster. Alba retires. Busquets retires. Mascherano's probably coming back. It's just a complete mess. So I'm not looking forward to that. So we got to win. If you're listening on audio, appreciate you listening to the end. Please leave us 5 stars, comment, review, all the good stuff. If you're watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. And for those of you in the chat, as always, you guys are the best part of the show. We appreciate you hanging out with us for the last hour. And we will be back on Saturday, hopefully celebrating a dub and moving on to the second round for the first ever time in team history. If not, it's going to be a rant-filled show. Regardless, make sure that you join us. So until the next one, have a good one.
Peace.